Public Defender. The public defender is a public servant employed by you and responsible for giving legal aid without cost to any person who seeks it and is financially unable to employ private counsel. It is his duty to defend those accused of crime until they are proved guilty by law. In our work, there's the problem: what constitutes true guilt? A problem which has been the subject of a friendly but long-standing argument between Captain of Detectives Tim Boylan and myself. Well, what are you waiting around for? To rib me about losing the case?
Oh, Bart, you've known me for 14 years. I never steered you wrong. When I say they're guilty.
When you say?
If they're guilty, I can tell it a mile away.
Now, Tim, I'm not denying that you're a first-class detective.
Oh, thanks.
But also a great guy, when you're off duty.
Now, you listen to me. This great guy you're always talking about is just trying to do his job the best way he can.
I'll grant you that, Tim.
And let me tell you something else. If I get an idea a guy may be guilty, I work 24 hours a day, getting the facts. That's enough so that no DA has ever lost a case that I prepared in 14 years.
But the law says a man is innocent until proved guilty. But then maybe the law doesn't apply to you if you know that they're guilty before you start.
Now, don't get mad, Bart, just because you lost this case. Look, get down off your soapbox and come on with me over to the Oak Room. Lunch is on me.
Oh, lunch is on me. I lost the case. But one of these days, Tim, you're going to find out that I'm right. And when you do, it won't be just lunch. It'll be dinner, 10 courses, and on you. I had no idea how soon it would be before Tim Boylan and I would again be at cross purposes. The subject, the same old one. Just when is a man guilty, if he's guilty at all.
You Bart Matthews?
Yeah, that's right, Johnny. I've been appointed by the court to help you. I suppose you tell me everything you can.
Well, what can I tell you? That I never even saw that woman before, let alone held her up?
If we can prove that, you won't be in here long.
Yeah, but don't you see? You've got to get me out today, right away. Kevin, what's my kid? He's in the hospital.
I understand that you were arrested by Captain Boylan. Isn't he your brother-in-law?
It wouldn't make any difference to him. Tim Boylan wouldn't give me the time of day. Let's face it, Matthews, he's never approved of me.
I know Captain Boylan quite well, Johnny. And I must admit that he sees things largely from the department's point of view. However, if you're innocent and you are his brother-in-law...
So what happens? Somebody he never even heard of identifies me. So to brother-in-law Boylan, I'm a bum, guilty as sin.
All right, suppose you start your story where you think you should.
Well, our kid ran a fever 4 days in a row, and we got worried. While Sharon phoned the doctor, I did the marketing. By the time I got back, the doctor was there ordering a room in the hospital.
Thank you, Miss Ames. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Goodbye. Hello, Johnny.
Well, what's going on, Doc?
Dr. Moore says Kevin has to be operated on, Johnny.
Operated?
Kevin's had 3 attacks in less than 6 weeks. Now, that can only mean one thing. A chronic condition which is getting rapidly worse.
Yeah, but an operation, Doc.
Believe me, Johnny, I wouldn't suggest it if it wasn't absolutely necessary.
Well, how much do you think it'll cost?
You can forget my fee for a while. The ambulance and the deposit, which is always required in advance, between $80 and $90.
Well, I'll get it. I'll have it by morning.
Fine. I'll order the ambulance for 8 o'clock.
$90, Johnny.
Now, don't worry, honey. I'll get it. I'll get it, all right. Andy, can I see you a minute?
Sure. What is it, Ferrari?
Well, I don't do things like this, but, you know, being laid off 6 weeks while you retooled and everything.
If it's money, Ferrari, I'm in the same boat you are.
But all I need is $75, just for a week or two at the most.
Sorry, believe me, I am.
It's not for me, Andy. It's my kid. He's sick. He's being operated on tomorrow morning.
Oh. So, you know, I'm sure the Employees Credit Union would make you the loan.
I'm not a member. I never joined.
Oh, we'll fix that up right now. Come in a few minutes early tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow afternoon will be too late. I gotta have it tonight. The kid's being operated on tomorrow. The doctor says we can't wait any longer.
I know we'll have no trouble getting the money by Friday. In the meantime, can't you get it from somebody else, or a relative, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Thanks, Ed.
Where did you get the money? What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. I borrowed it. I'm afraid nobody will believe it, even you.
Suppose you let me be the judge.
Well, I got it from a guy who left town the next day. His name's Bill Kessler.
Well, that shouldn't be too hard to check on. Where did this Kessler go?
Well, that's just it. I don't know. He said he was going north till he found some place he felt like staying for a while.
That is a little unusual, isn't it, Johnny? Going off, leaving no forwarding address, and you owing him $75, $85?
Well, if you knew the guy, you'd understand. He said he'd let me know where to send the money when I got it. Bill Kessler's a boomer. He's got itchy feet. He can't stay put long any place. Now, believe me, there are guys like that.
Yes, I know, but doesn't he have a family? Someone who could give us a line on his plans?
No, I told you, he's a boomer. He just picks up and that's it.
The public defender's office has some pretty good investigators, Johnny. If anybody can find this Bill Kessler, I have a hunch we can. All right, go ahead. What happened after you got the money?
Well, the next morning, my wife took the kid to the hospital in an ambulance. I was going to follow in our car when there was a knock at the front door. Well, this is a surprise.
Yeah. Where's Sharon?
She just left, took Kevin to the hospital. Did Sharon call you?
No. What is it? Something serious?
Well, the doctor thinks so. He's operating on him this morning. If you didn't know, what are you doing here?
I'll get to that. Are you sure the kid's going to be all right?
Oh, we sure hope so. Well, I've got to get right on down to the hospital.
Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you tell me you needed money?
Well, I didn't have to. I got the money all right. All I needed was $85.
That checks. When I got to the office this morning, there was a teletype on you to pick you up.
Pick me up? For what?
Suspicion of robbery. $90 was stolen in a holdup.
Suspicion of robbery, Tim? Well, what's this? Why, it's crazy. I was at work last night. Ask anybody.
I hope you're right, Johnny. I hope you're right. But the victim picked out your picture from a couple of hundred others.
Well, you got no pictures of me downtown.
No. But they figured the suspect probably worked in the vicinity of the holdup. So they went to the two plants and got all the ID pictures of the guys who worked there. Your picture got fingered, Johnny.
They couldn't. Nobody could identify me.
For Sharon's sake and the kids, I hope you're right. That's why I came personally. I'm going to give you a special show-up. If they don't make you, you'll be at the hospital 10 minutes later. Don't worry, Mrs. Pollard. They can't see you through this glass. They never know who identifies them. All right, Bruno. Well, Mrs. Pollard, is that the man who held you up?
Have him take off his jacket a minute.
Offer the jacket.
Yes. Now, I'm absolutely certain. That's the one, all right.
Mrs. Pollard, this is a very serious charge you're accusing this man of. Just by identifying him, you can send him to jail for 10 years. Now, I want you to look again and be absolutely sure.
Well, that's the man that held me up. What more can I say?
Nothing else, Mrs. Pollard. That's what we wanted to know. Thank you very much. That'll be all for today. All right, Bruno, bring him in.
Well, what about it, Tim?
She fingered you, Johnny.
But I didn't do it.
You didn't do it, eh? You were at work all night.
What's wrong, Tim? You know me.
Yes, I know you. I know you when you were a 15-year-old punk kid, hauled in for auto theft, too.
Nobody stole the car. There were 5 of us. We just wanted to show off a little and took a ride.
Sure. They start off wrong, they end up worse.
All right. I'm no good. I never did anything. But you can't keep me here now. Sharon's over the hospital alone, worrying. They're going to operate on Kevin any minute.
Bruno, take him out and book him.
What's wrong with you, Tim? Aren't you human? Can't you feel anything? Or have you got steel bars inside where your heart ought to be?
I don't know about heart. I just know I got a job to do, and I plan to do it.
Tim, for the love of heaven, who's talking about your job? I'm talking about your sister. Your sister and our kid, her kid.
You're all wrong, Johnny. I'm talking about my job, nothing else. The book doesn't say don't arrest your sister's husband. It says you break the law, you go to jail, you get punished.
The law. Is that all you think about? The law and your job?
Yes, it is. Because I respect my job. It takes self-respect to be a man, Johnny. Maybe you're going to find that out now. All right, I've had it. Take him out and book him.
Thanks, Doctor. And be sure that Mrs. Ferrari understands that we're doing everything possible. Goodbye.
How's Ferrari's kid?
Well, the doctor says it's still nip and tuck. And now he's worried about the mother. She hasn't left the hospital even to change clothes. Says with Johnny not there, why go home?
It's real rough, no fooling.
Yeah, and it's going to be rougher if anything happens to that boy while the dad's in jail.
I know. It's up to us to locate the guy he said he borrowed the money from. What's his name, if any?
If any, the name's Bill Kessler. You and Adams got on the phone, called the police departments in every town north of here where they have a tool and die plant, foundries.
Oh, that's sort of like needle hunting, isn't it, Bart?
We found needles before.
Oh, I know, but do you think we can locate this guy just on the loose description that Ferrari gave us?
Well, we'll never know until you two guys get started.
I get the point.
Well, if you want to get in touch with me, I'm going over to the hospital to talk to Mrs. Ferrari. After that, I'll be all over town, but I'll phone in.
All right. Get me, Adams.
What am I going to do? I just can't stand it. What can I do, Mr. Matthews?
Well, one thing you can do is to take care of yourself. Go home and rest a while. If the boy's condition changes, they'll notify you.
I can't. I've got to be here. Somebody's got to be here who's his own flesh and blood.
Well, the best way that I can help you and Johnny right now is to get out and work. Please don't worry, Mrs. Ferrari. My next stop was the Federal Tool and Die Plant. I needed proof that Johnny had been at work when the crime was committed. I was a little surprised to meet Captain Boylan coming out.
Bart, what are you doing here?
Same thing you are, looking for facts. Any little thing that might help my client and win me a 10-course dinner.
Why don't you give up, Bart? You're going to lose anyway.
Sure?
Reasonably sure. Bart, I'm going to do something I don't do very often. I'm going to give you some information.
Well, that's a new twist.
I don't like the look of it. I've been talking to Johnny's foreman. He tells me Johnny's machine broke down the night of the robbery.
Well, what's that got to do with it?
Plenty. The robbery took place at approximately the same time. Johnny was away from the plant for 25 minutes.
Does that prove anything?
He had plenty of time to get to the laundromat, hold up the woman, and get back to his job.
Thanks for the information, Tim. But maybe I can find something else that might have a bearing on the case.
If you do, let me know.
Hello, Mr. Matthews. Any news?
Johnny, why didn't you tell me that your machine broke down that night and you left the plant?
Well, I didn't think it meant anything. It happens lots of times, and we go out for a cup of coffee.
But the robbery happened at just that time. Did you get coffee?
Well, no, I told you I went to see Kessler and got the money from him. He only roomed a block from the plant.
We checked on that.
If you guys could only find Kessler.
We've got to find him. He's your only chance. I've had two of my best men working on it all day. So far, no Kessler.
I gotta get out of here. I gotta get to that hospital. What am I gonna do?
I don't know, Johnny. But if I were you, I think I'd pray. Anything new, Clark?
I hate to say this, Bart, but if there is a Bill Kessler, he must have gone to Alaska or something. Between us, Adams and I must have called 61 places that never even heard of Bill Kessler. Right, will do. Oh, look, in case we want to reach you, where are you going next?
I'm going to Mrs. Pollard's laundromat.
Okay. Goodbye.
Well, naturally, I was scared when I saw his gun. Wouldn't you be if someone did this to you?
I'm quite sure I would be, Mrs. Pollard. And that's just the point. If you were so surprised and panicky, how can you be sure about your identification?
I was sure, not certain, mind you, until I saw him again down at the police station. Then, the minute I saw that brown sports shirt, I was certain.
Brown sports shirt? Like this brown tie I'm wearing?
Yeah, yes, same color.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Pollard. You have no idea how much help you've been.
Well, I'm glad to do anything I can, and...
And I may call on you again.
Well, if you live anywhere around this place, why, bring in your washing. I'll give you a good price. Something special.
Thank you. I may take you up on it. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Exactly an hour later, Mrs. Pollard was in my office. I'm glad that you could come in so quickly, Mrs. Pollard.
They said you wanted to see me, Bart.
Yes, Tim. You know Mrs. Pollard. I wanted to ask you a question, Tim. You arrested Johnny. What color sports shirt was he wearing that day?
Oh, what sort of a question is that?
It was green, wasn't it, Tim? Green and white pattern?
Yeah, that's right, green. Why? What difference does that make?
Mrs. Pollard, what color is this shirt?
That's brown.
Thank you. And this one, the color of this shirt?
Well, that's sort of brown, too.
Now, Mrs. Pollard, this is a shirt that I bought just a few minutes ago. It's a red shirt. And the tie I'm wearing is red, dark red. And this is the shirt that John Ferrari was wearing when you identified him as the man who robbed you. Tim, what color is this shirt?
It's green.
Mrs. Pollard, answer truthfully. Are you colorblind?
Yes, Mr. Matthews, but I didn't realize.
You didn't realize? Do you know what you've done? You didn't identify a man, you identified a shirt. And you were wrong on that, too. Now, are you still sure that Johnny Ferrari is the man who held you up?
No. No, I shouldn't have said it. Maybe I...
Now, Mrs. Pollard, possibly you could remember something about the man.
All I remember is the shirt. Little white figures all over the shirt he wore. They weren't exactly like those. They were more like little half moons and stars.
Well, thanks again, Mrs. Pollard. Well, Tim, do you want to take it from here?
You're on the opposite side. Why are you giving me all this information?
Because Johnny's your brother-in-law. Now, Tim, and let's don't argue this. Your sister hasn't left that hospital for a minute. And unless you talk to her, you may lose not only a nephew, but a sister, too. She needs you, Tim.
Okay, Bart. Thanks.
How would you know anything about Johnny? Once.
Please, Sharon. Not here, not now.
Not now. Have you changed? No. You're still as stubborn as you were when you were little. Gotta have it your way. Always your way.
That's not true, Sharon. I change my mind often. Give me the facts to warrant it, and I change my mind like that.
But you need the change of heart, Tim. If you've got a heart.
Sharon, you go on home, and I promise I'll do everything I can.
No, somebody's got to be here with the boy.
I'll stay. I am his uncle, you know. Go on, Sharon. I'll take care of everything.
All right, Tim. I'll try it.
Daddy.
Your Uncle Tim.
I don't want Uncle Tim. I want my daddy.
Daddy's busy just now, Kevin, but Uncle Tim will take care of you.
I want daddy.
He's been asking for you, Johnny.
Your old man's here, fella. Right here with you. How have you been? How do you feel?
You all right, Daddy?
Sure. Sure, you're all right. You'll be fine now.
Judge Lucas released Johnny in your custody, huh?
Provisionally. He said that I could bring him here, but that if you had any objections, I'd have to take him back. Oh, and another thing, Tim. Knowing how highly you regard facts, Captain, I've worked hard. Oh, maybe not 24 hours a day the way you do, but I did manage to round up some facts.
Well, I'm glad you didn't lose any beauty sleep over it, Bart.
We finally located Bill Kessler in Collinstown. I had O'Neill, the chief of police there, talk to him and get a sworn statement. Now, this telegram from O'Neill came in 10 minutes ago.
William Kessler states under oath he made loan to Johnny Ferrari. Request I ask you, court, what kind of a cop is Boylan? Doesn't he believe his own brother-in-law? Sharon has better sense than her brother, Bart. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go looking for this guy who wears the sports shirt with the half moons and stars. And when I find him, don't bother to defend him, Bart. Because this time, there's going to be no doubt about his being guilty.
Okay, Tim. But right now I'm hungry. And you owe me a 10-course dinner. It took a lot of doing, but Captain Boylan finally found the right man. And at least one official now admits that just facts don't make a person guilty. He has learned that some of us can be just as blind to certain facts as poor Mrs. Pollard was to certain colors. The case you have just seen was brought to a fair and just conclusion through the efforts of a public defender.